Okay, I'm pulling up here at Gibson County High School here in Northwest Tennessee. Today is April the 8th, year 2018. The reason why that I'm pulling up here is because I remember setting the steel, the iron in this particular job before I wound up falling off the A.O. Smith building in 1979, falling from approximately 4 floors and breaking both my legs in about 20 pieces apiece with my knees down and crushing both ankles. This particular job here was being handled on the steel department pertaining to Tri-State, Wayman Jewell, Jim Jewell, and Buddy Jewell, Tri-State Construction. And I remember as we was sitting about where the left column is on that school right there, it would probably have been back this way over here where the asphalt is right here. We had a crane sitting right here, all right, and we was setting trusses, and we had almost got to the very last one, and we was going to have to move the crane and reassemble the crane, which requires a bit of aggravation and time and effort. And rather than do that, I remember Jim Jewell motioning for Buddy Jewell that had a span, I think it was about 140-foot span truss that was approximately 6 foot deep, maybe a little deeper. Anyways, he had spanned it out as far as he could towards setting the last truss, and he went beyond the perimeters of where he should have went, and it basically started destroying the crane, and it was popping and snapping, and it sounded like explosions of dynamite going off where the crane was separating itself from the outriggers. In other words, there was too much pressure. It went beyond the payload. It was too much pressure, and because it was too much pressure, it was busting the crane basically in half. I remember Buddy Jewell hurry up and dropping the truss that wound up knocking out the back wall and knocked off, I think it was 2 other trusses. Fortunately, no one got injured or hurt during that episode, but it was an incredible episode to the point that we wound up welding on this crane, Ricky McCarto and I, and also Mr. Pierce, Tim Pierce, for approximately 3 solid weeks of burning one rod right after another, and continuously for 8 hours a day for about 3 weeks in welding this crane back together. I just wanted to share that enlightening story with my viewers, because my life does not just consist of working on cars or building houses. I also hung steel, and I guess the tallest that I've ever been was on the First Baptist Church down in Jackson, Tennessee, on hanging the steeple, which was approximately 14 floors above the ground. And the biggest job that I ever set or helped to set was down in Tupelo, Florida, towards putting up a 8-story hospital down there. This was in 1979, before I wound up coming back to Milan, Tennessee, and becoming injured working for Alten Construction at the time whenever I fell. But I just wanted to let my viewers know that there was much more in my life other than me witnessing, other than me being a detective, other than me going all over the countryside and becoming an investigator or a detective, other than me working on cars in the auto body industry. There was much more to my life other than what I have actually talked about. And like I said, whenever that crane busted the way that it did, fortunately wasn't nobody standing right next to it, because there was big chunks of metal that was coming out, kind of like a grenade that was being exploded as this crane was basically separating itself right in front of our very eyes. It was an experience that I had never had to go through, and hopefully won't never have to go through again, pertaining to watching a industrial accident right in front of your eyes fixing to take place that could have injured or killed many people. Many people. Thanks for listening. Trenton High School. I don't know where they got that old log cabin, but it's neat. Gibson County. Gibson County High School. Pretty big outfit. There's their flagpole. Turn right, go to Trenton. Turn left, go back to Dyer. This is Highway 45 west, heading towards Union City, Tennessee.